SI.com released details of new allegations of sexual misconduct by Antonio Brown. Through his lawyer, Brown has since denied the allegations, and according to reports, Brown's initial accuser, who filed a civil lawsuit against the receiver, met with NFL investigators yesterday. The league has yet to release any official statement on the matter, and when asked about how he was handling the AB situation, Bill Belichick said he was just focused on game planning for the Jets. So, Shannon, do you think AB will miss any games this season?
I do. Skip, I believe what's going to happen, they sat down with the woman yesterday that filed the suit. What's going to be very interesting, are they going to take this investigation a step further and sit down the woman behind the SI article? Because if they sit down with her, now this could possibly show a pattern of behavior. And that's where they can come in with the conduct detrimental to the league. See, Skip, some people are willing to make the leap, says, okay, he acted a you-know-what in Pittsburgh, he acted a you-know-what in Oakland, so what the lady that filed a lawsuit, this must be true. I think it's an easier jump with the lady that filed the lawsuit and the lady from the SI story. I think those things maybe line up a little more than, say, his behavior in Pittsburgh and in Oakland. Not to say he did or he didn't. Skip, I just believe that when the NFL comes in, look, the personal conduct, the standard could be as high or as low as they deem it. In Article 46, the commissioner says it does not have to be a legal charge for me to take action. They've given him dictatorial powers.
And point of order, Zeke was not charged at all. He was actually cleared by an investigation by the Fort Lauderdale police and then the Columbus, Ohio police. Go ahead.
And I think in the court of public opinion, although some might have said, no, Zeke didn't do this, but when they saw him pull the lady's top down, they said, okay, now this is a pattern of behavior.
Okay, I got it.
And I believe this is what the NFL, now the NFL, I believe the NFL, because that's what you do in an investigation, Skip. You just don't, okay, he said this, she said that, or in an investigation, not just the NFL, you talk to other people. Did anybody see anything, or if this happened before? And if it's something like this has happened before, please come forward. Okay, people start to come forward, and now it shows a pattern of behavior that AB may have engaged in. The NFL is not going to look favorable upon this. I believe this is where they take the action. I do believe they are going to sit down with this lady from the SI story. And if she tells the NFL what was reported in that SI article, is going to be very damaging for Antonio Brown. Now, it's not to say this happened, but I'm saying she comes off as very, very convincing the way she explains what transpired.
Now, she was not named. She did so anonymously. You know?
Yeah, she did herself.
So I think this is where a lot of his problems is going to lie, Skip. And at worst case, even some of AB's staunchest supporters is going to find it hard and harder to stand behind him when these allegations keep coming out.
I am with you. I find it hard to believe that the NFL won't take some kind of action as almost a preemptive strike to a potential jury trial on the civil suit that has been filed against AB. And what they have to work with is now, just over the last year, just the last 1 year, a history and a pattern of bad behavior on many fronts, unpaid debts, claims against him for money owed by a chef at the Pro Bowl, right? The incident in which he was accused of throwing the furniture off a 14th floor balcony, an ottoman that endangered the life of a 1.5-year-old child near the swimming pool. It's one that the speed, 103 mile an hour speeding ticket when he was still in Pittsburgh. And then, if nothing else, his misbehavior in Oakland in his brief stint there, which culminated in him going after the new GM Mike Mayock on the field, on the practice field, in front of the whole football team, reportedly called him a cracker and wanted to fight him and had to be restrained from throwing a punch at him. Okay, just on the surface of that alone, Roger Goodell could say that's conduct unbecoming.
Absolutely.
And
well, you would have thought in that situation the Raiders would have suspended him, but what they did is that they fined him, which kicked in the conduct detrimental to the team, which also voided the guaranteed money.
Oh, yeah.
That is true.
So they say, look, what we're going to do is we're going to take this guaranteed money, but we still want you to play for us.
Okay. So the SI portion of this article about the woman that we just talked about says the woman is not pursuing charges or remuneration, though she was bothered by his behavior. She said that friends with whom she had shared details of this incident alerted her to the federal lawsuit Taylor filed against Brown last week, which seemed to slightly open the door that maybe she would pursue some sort of legal action against him, maybe a civil suit, or join the civil suit, or who knows what could happen. But my point is, it's not getting better, it's getting worse.
Correct.
And if you're, again, the National Football League, your worst nightmare would be sitting on your hands, doing nothing, no statements, don't even acknowledge what has happened.
Oh, this is not going away.
Okay, but you did obviously reportedly interview the woman who filed the civil suit yesterday.
Brittany Taylor. That's
Brittany Taylor. Yesterday you interviewed her. Are you going to interview AB sometime soon?
Yes.
The next few days? I would hope so.
It would have to be today, Skip, because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is work days. I don't know if they play at home or they play away.
Unless Commissioner Goodell deems this more important than practice, right? I need to see you on Thursday in New York or whatever, right? So to me, the worst nightmare is if you just sit still and let this play out and hope it sort of goes away, it could just go all the way to a jury trial. And if it does, and the jury, and the burden of proof in a civil case is much lower than in a criminal case, but if they found in favor of Brittany Taylor, the NFL would look all-time worse.
Yes.
Right? Because you would look even worse to me than you did in how slowly you reacted to the video of Ray Rice.
Well, Skip, at least, didn't they they had suspended Ray for 2 games before the video came out. And once the video came out, he was about to get off his suspension. And that's when they suspended him indefinitely. Well, and he filed a motion and said, hold on, I've already served the 2 games. The video didn't show new evidence. All it did was highlight old evidence. And he went and he won the trial. He went before, I think, Rice was, I forget the judge's name. But Barbara, I think her first name was Barbara. But he went before her and she's like, no, you can't do this. He's already served the suspension. And you're going to suspend him on top when he didn't create a new act?
Okay.
The thing is, Skip, now, okay, you interviewed Ms. Taylor yesterday. Like I said, Skip, I don't believe they will the NFL normally doesn't work like this, Skip. They don't normally interfere with a work day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Normally it's Tuesday on your day off, gives you an opportunity to get to and get from and get back to work the next day. But if they interview this woman, the question is, how credible is she going to come off as? Now, Kia Roberts that interviewed the Zeke accuser, she was not credible at all. And they still made the leap.
They did.
If she comes off as credible, there's no telling what they're going to do. They might suspend him for the rest of the year.
They might. And again, it's a classic he said, she said. And to be fair to Antonio, he refused to settle this case.
Right.
And the negotiations reportedly went on for several months.
Right.
And he continues to say it was a consensual relationship.
Right.
And there have been videos we've seen on the internet of them together. Right. And you can conclude what you want from that. So again, he's saying consensual. She's saying sexual assault and rape, and it'd be a hard call for the NFL to try to come to a conclusion even before this becomes a grand jury trial. Right.
And I think the thing is that if the emails or the text messages, what can we authenticate? But Skip, I believe his bigger problem coming down the line is this lady in this article, because I don't believe she knew that there was a federal lawsuit that was already filed against her, or that was going to be filed before she said what she said. So you can't say, well, she's just trying to jump on the gravy train now. Because at this present time, as you mentioned, she's not a part of any lawsuit or had no, I guess the thing is she wasn't thinking or isn't thinking at this time. So that's the problem that he's going to run into. She's downstairs, she's painting, and it's reported, she's saying that he came behind her with a hand towel over his privates, naked.
Okay, and she said she just ignored him because she said, unfortunately, I've been hit on by so many men. I just ignore it.
Right, I'm here to do a job. I'm not going to mess up my money.
Well, and it was big. It was a big deal for her.
Right.
It was. The attention of Antonio liking her work.
Right.
And that would have possibly that could have changed her career.
Right.
Could have.
Right.
And then her story is the next day, he cut off all communication with her, and she left the first painting that he sort of fell in love with the first one, and she left it there and has yet been able to retrieve that.
Right.
And it was, she said, worth $700. So,
right. Let the lady get a lady $700 for the painting, or let the lady get a painting back, AB.
Okay.
I mean, and the lady is smart. She's like, I'm here to do a job. I'm not finna get in a relationship with you because you get mad, now I don't get paid. It's like a trainer. I never understood a trainer that would mess with a client. I'm not messing up my money because you get mad. Guess what, Skip? You not gonna pay me, or you gonna expect me to train you for free.
That's true.
So the lady's like, I'm not messing up my money. I'm here to do a job.
Yep.
I'm gonna paint this on the wall or whatever, a mural or a painting or whatever it was, Skip. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get my money and I'm gonna leave. Now,
The sad part is you should never even have to think about that being an issue if you are there to work. And so many women deal with this every single day.
Every single day.
So it's hard to read about this and not think that he is just not conscious about his actions.
Okay. So what is the NFL most conscious of? It's image. This
what's
is the
going on now, Skip?
100th anniversary of the National Football League, and everybody wants to be happy and celebrate and embrace the heritage of this league. Antonio's ironic slogan is business is booming. And right now he has become bad for business in the National Football League. I think they just look at him as he's tarnishing their celebration.
Yes.
And it's, again, they're not saying we think that you did what you're accused of by Brittany Taylor.
Right.
They're just saying all of this added up is bad for business, bad for our image, right? That's why I say there's a suspension coming, maybe to the exempt list, even though on the surface it requires a criminal charge. But again, Article 46, I think the language of even the exempt list is if you, I'm just going to paraphrase it, but if you do anything that is conduct unbecoming, you can also wind up on the exempt list.
Because at the time, Ray Rice was not criminal.